Good morning, everyone. Happy day to you wherever you are. Happy greetings from me, from Jen at Personal Power Life Coaching. And I'm so glad because I'm celebrating this moment, this new beginning in Dubai here. It's Sunday, so it's the beginning of a new work week. And I am making this post because I want to share that I just made my celery juice. So that's before I go out on my walk and my exercise. And this way we have it ready for when we come back. So let me show you. So that is our beautiful machine, and this is our celery champion. So it's all good to go, and I'm feeling really good about it. I actually made two containers of it. So this one is it's maybe 13 ounces. It's not 16. The full glass container is 16 ounces. But I actually filled up another one completely, and it is right here. So it's going to be ready for me. And my intention in making the other one is firstly because I had already washed the whole celery stalk, so it was pretty much ready to go for later. And I was just in the moment and I decided to just juice it all, and then I can have it later on in the afternoon before dinner. Like, it's great and refreshing in the afternoon. So that is what I did. And the celery juice is really nice to have after you do your exercise. So this is our celery juice, and I'm going to top that, and we'll save it for this afternoon. So that's where it's going to go. And also, I want to share that I am actually but I'm preparing tea. But I am also taking these days to completely remove caffeine, and that includes the teas, because previously I really enjoy green tea and I really enjoy black tea, actually. I don't know about you. Do you enjoy caffeinated teas? I also enjoy matcha tea, which also is a stimulating tea. I guess it all makes sense, right? Because previously, it took me a while to wean myself off of coffee completely. And I know that's a topic that is close to a lot of you because coffee is so prevalent in so many cultures, in so many work environments, and families, and homes, and in just society and the world. And it's a big industry. It makes sense. It's a big money making, money moving, money pushing industry. And it's a stimulant, it's like a drug. So it took me a while to get off of it, and changing my environment was a big factor in it, in the sense of not being home with my family, even though I'd rather be with them. It's not like I left because of that, but just not being home didn't expose me. So I never have coffee in my own house. I never buy it, it never enters my house. And I also, at work, because we're working from home, I don't have that in my environment. I don't hear the machines. I don't go around the machine break area, like the coffee break area, so I'm not exposed to that. So the environment is super important. So if you control your environment, really focus on your environment, clean up your environment, control your surroundings in as much as it's yours to control. So like your house is yours to control. And if you live with your family, then focus on the areas of your house and kitchen that are yours, like your part of the fridge or your shelf or your cupboards. Because when I was living at home in New York, I have my brother, my mother, and my father, and they eat, they are not vegan, so they eat milk and eggs, and we have all of that in the fridge. And I never push against it. I accept, they're my family, I love them, and I accept them no matter what. But I would just have my side of the fridge, and I would just keep my things there, and it was fine. Of course, I would be tempted when I would see some things like cakes particularly. It was really the only thing that would tempt me. And also when my mother cooked food, when she cooks, the smell, if I'm hungry, then I'll be tempted and crave. But if I'm not hungry, then it's not a problem. So I would, that's something for you to consider is control your environment. Number one, focus on the area of your house that you can control that is yours. So you designate one part of the kitchen or one part of the fridge that is yours. That's reasonable. You know, it's like when you have roommates, and basically our family is our roommates. So just designate a part of it that's yours and focus your eyes on the area of the fridge and of the kitchen that is your food. The rest is not your food, so you don't have it. And so that's important. And where we focus, and also if you're hungry, you're going to be craving a lot more, and you're going to feel hungrier, and you're going to want a lot of your forbidden foods or your off-plan foods. So just remember that. Ask yourself, am I hungry? Because if you're starving, then definitely you're going to crave whatever, and you're going to succumb to any in the moment instinct, you know, like your instinct. It's not your body asking for something that you really need. It's just that we're hungry, and you just need to have your natural food, your own food. And so I also want to share in this post that I am doing, as I mentioned briefly a few minutes ago, is I'm not having caffeine. So I'm preparing a tea. So I'm having oolong. Oolong, this one is it's called milky oolong, but it does not have milk. It's not with milk. It's just called milky oolong because the consistency, I really love it. It's oolong tea. And it's just oolong tea, and it has mallow petals, and it does have flavoring. It does have flavoring. And of course, I would rather not have the flavoring. But in this case, I'm making an exception because it's the only thing that I am having. And I also combined it with ginseng, which is Ayurvedic. This one is really nice. I like this one. It has lemongrass, peppermint, and ginseng. So no caffeine, and it's all natural herbs. So I appreciate that. It also has lemongrass. So it's made of majorly, it's the main composition of it is lemongrass, peppermint, rose hips, orange peel, licorice, cardamom, ginseng root, cinnamon, ginger, lemon oil, nettle, which is great, alfalfa, black pepper, cloves, and dried kombucha drink. That's a whole mouthful, and it's nice, but primarily it is mainly composed of lemongrass and peppermints, and then rose hips and orange peel. So pretty much lemongrass peppermint tea. Yeah, lemongrass with some ginseng. So energizing, stimulating, non-caffeinated. And the reason for that is because I'm just running an experiment to see if this really helps my adrenals, my adrenaline, to not, to see if it reduces, not that I'm an anxious person, but sometimes I can be. And I think that's something that many of us experience, especially because we're having cacao, we're having coffee or caffeinated teas, sodas that are caffeinated, and I believe those are the main sources. Cacao, chocolate has caffeine, so it does contain some caffeine for you to bear in mind. So that's pretty much it. And I am really thankful that at least I enjoy my tea, the oolong. The oolong is really nice. I also really like rooibos, although I find it a bit boring. And to be frank, I find herbal teas a little bit boring. And I'm just being straightforward because yeah, I guess that's my feeling of it, but there's no reason to see them as boring. It's just finding the right one for you, I think. And so far, oolong seems to be really nice and agreeable. And I also like the ginseng. I also like nettle tea. And I'll show you the other teas that I have here. Ginger tea is very nice. turmeric and peppermint. I also like the plain, have here this chai tea. This one here is pretty cool. This one, another one from Yogi Tea, and it's the classic chai with no caffeine. So it's cinnamon, cardamom, and ginger, black pepper, cloves. So that's nice. It's warming, and if you want to make your tea or your beverage naturally sweet, you can add some dates to the hot water. Like you pour in. So I'll show you what I did. So here we have it. So I poured in. So I have my tea there, my 2 tea bags. I put one of the ginseng and one of the oolong, and I filled it up, of course, with some nice hot water. Just heated up some more hot water. And then I had added some dried dates, but I let them soak so that the natural sugars just, they infuse the water in time. So it's not like a quick rush immediately, but it just is gradual. And by the time that I finish drinking it later today, at some point early afternoon, then I will have like more of a sweet taste to it, but not necessarily right now. So that's pretty much it. So this is our tea, our non-caffeine tea, and today is pretty much day 2. Although yesterday I did have a sip of my remaining black tea from the day before. So today is really day 1. Day 1 completely with just plain no caffeine teas. For some people who are listening to this, it may seem really normal. They're like, oh, it's like what I do every day basically. But if it's not your normal, then something to consider. It's never too late to start. You just take it one day at a time and celebrate. So I made celery juice. We're making this non-caffeinated herbal tea. Victory, bingo and celebration. So it feels good, and I'm happy to share. So sending you lots of love and well-being. Keep shining, keep smiling and celebrating, and have a beautiful day. See you soon. Bye for now.